Hola and good morning.
That's hello in America.
It's America. America. Well, looks like we got a light panel today. We have
I'm nowhere near light.
We have Abby someone, and he's drinking something, and it's not beer.
No. The elixir of life.
It's coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. Well, I've had my 64 ounces of coffee so far, so I'm coffeeed up.
You and your 9 cups of coffee.
Yes, my 9 cups of coffee.
Gallon and a half of coffee.
Yes. No, it's a half a gallon. Half a gallon of coffee.
It's that damn Common Core math ain't getting away again.
Right. No shit. Right? Holy crap. Well, good morning to everybody and those across the pond. Good afternoon. Missing a couple of friends so far. Hopefully they'll be able to pop in when they are available. If not, I'm sure they're doing some awesome stuff on a Sunday. So let's get right into it. And, we've had quite the week, actually the last 2 weeks, but recently, actually the last couple of days, we've had, basically from Wednesday on to the weekend. It's been nonstop, crazy freak out show in the politics realm. Whether you're a politician or you're not a politician, whether you're running or not running, or whether you're a political pundit or a reporter or some talking head, people are losing their fucking minds.
It surprises you?
No, well, it's quite entertaining. I enjoy watching people freak out and yell, Nazi, 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 allegedly.
Allegedly.
Because they have nothing else to stand on. They have no plan other than what is put in the political ads. We're for cutting taxes on 100 million Americans, where the other guy is just for the billionaires. The other guy wants to eliminate income tax completely.
Yes. So,
tell me why you only mention 100 million Americans. Why not every American?
So they did. I read an article about this.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, and it's kind of funny. And people are saying, well, back when this, was implemented in 1913, I guess, is when this happened. Mm-hmm. Whenever but the thing is, though, okay, the government got all their, revenues from tariffs, right?
They did. Plus, they also had tax on alcohol.
Alcohol taxes.
Yeah, alcohol.
So, but they're saying, well, Trump can't do that now because we have so many things that are reliant on federal income tax. And so the gist of the article is that no, he's going to do it and get rid of those programs that were created after that point. The pork, these programs that are not needed anymore. These are not needed. I would say needed anymore, but are just a burden.
Oh yeah. You can pretty much just say all of them.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that's good that came out of taxing, but then I think the vast majority of it, is basically servitude.
Yes.
Whether you want to call it a form of slavery, fine. It's servitude to the government because they require. There's no way of getting around it. They require by fiat or by law to basically tithe to the government. Instead of giving to the church, you got to give to the government. But it's mandatory to give it to the government.
It's not
mandatory to give it to the church. So, the church of the government is how stateism has come about.
Well, we've said this before. Why don't they just do a federal sales tax?
Well, and that has been brought up. I mean, it seems like every decade I hear somebody come up with that idea.
Right.
There was two guys, I want to say back in the 90s, that came up with something very similar to a sales tax.
One was Jerry Brown, which is kind of scary.
Jerry Brown, yikes.
Yeah.
So they came up with this idea of like a value-added tax or something like that. It's a sales tax. Now, granted, people are like, oh, well, hey, I don't want to pay more taxes at their cash register. Well, you already fucking do anyway.
Right.
Okay. You have some places where you go. Let's say I'm going to use my town in particular. There's the state sales tax. Okay. There's a state mandated percentage. I think it's 7% or something here. And maybe it's a little higher. Maybe it's a little higher. But just for the sake of argument, we'll say that the state sales tax in my state is 8%. It could be bigger, could be smaller.
Hey, time profit.
Yay, time profit in the chat. Welcome. So let's say it's 8% on the dollar. Now, there are districts inside my town which are called entertainment districts, where you have it's a proliferation of shopping malls, restaurants, with retailers. So basically it's a restaurant tax. Now, you have to vote on that as a resident. Every couple of years they have the vote. They have the local vote, the city vote. And so I think it's about a 0.5%, maybe 1% of taxes. And now that has a sunset date.
Yes.
On most of these local taxes will have a sunset date, which is required by, I think it's either the city or the county charter, one of the two. But it's legally they can't go past a certain time frame on that added extra tax, because that's designed to pay for roads, intersections, upgrades and things like that because of the advanced traffic in the area, right? The growth.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. It sucks. I got to go pay an extra 0.5%. I got to pay an extra penny per dollar. You do understand that, ladies and gentlemen. 8% sales tax is 8 cents on a dollar. So if you buy something, if you go out to dinner and you you buy dinner for everybody, right? You bring a big group of people, your family. You go to a big place and you eat whatever, and you pay for it, and the bill comes back at $200.
Mm-hmm.
Your tax on that, prior to the entertainment tax, is $16.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad. Now I believe it's actually higher than that. I think in the restaurant areas of town here, I think it's closer to 10%.
Yeah.
But still. Now, if they do a national sales tax, I think that it's been floated anywhere between 2% and 4%, I think.
Yeah.
Don't know for sure, just guessing.
B-Dog
in the chat. B-Dog and Time Profit. Woohoo! We're rolling now, baby.
Yes.
So you're looking at that. Now, I don't have a problem, and here's the caveat. I don't have a problem with the national sales tax.
No.
Provided that, one, it's not an exorbitant percentage.
No.
And two, that it actually does exclude things like food.
Right.
Okay. But three, the most important part is that implementation of such a tax gets rid of another tax. You see what I'm saying? It's a one-for-one deal.
Yeah, make it a wash.
If we bring in a federal sales tax, let's get rid of another tax. Let's get rid of income tax.
Right.
Because if you get rid of the income tax, people are going to have more money in their pocket to buy more stuff to pay more more sales tax. Think about it. It's nuts. I mean, you remember, Abby, remember in San Diego Remember when they were going to do the snack tax?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that shit?
On snack foods and sodas and shit like that.
And how well did that go?
Yeah, it didn't go real well.
It didn't go real well because it was a high percentage tax.
Yeah, it was like 10% or something.
Yeah,
like that.
It was like some fat tax. It was huge. New York has the same
and that tells me if it's such a high tax like that, that tells me that money is not going to go where it's intended to go. That's going to go to pay off somebody or to grease somebody's pocket.
Exactly.
You know?
What are we seeing right now in government, whether it's local, state, or federal?
Yeah.
We see people wanting to give a lot of money to people who don't fucking deserve it, i.e., people who are here who are not citizens and are not here with a visa.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say illegal. I said people who are here who don't have a visa, which are here technically illegally.
Yeah.
So
we got. I know a few of those.
And yeah, and now I've seen some commercials.
Right.
The bleeding heart commercial. Okay, now I can sympathize because I know somebody who was a quote unquote dreamer, and this is somebody who came across with their family, and they were like 2, 3, 4 years old. They got no fucking choice in the matter. No. The family drags them across because they're doing migrant work, traveling up and down the coast, following the farming trends, doing the seasons, stuff like that. They, for whatever reason, the family didn't have enough money to go get a fucking green card, okay? Which I will tell you, in the first term of Barack Obama, he increased the cost of green cards by a lot.
And that was planned.
That was done intentionally.
Yes.
Intentionally, in my opinion. So anyway, so you got people that come across, they bring the kid's here for 10 or 12 fucking years, okay? Then all of a sudden, he doesn't have papers, birth certificate, all that shit, right? Neither does his parents. Now this kid's stuck because he's basically an American because he's been here for 10 years, 12 years. He came in as a little toddler. What are you going to do? Now, there's a political ad out there that actually points that out. I have sympathy for those people.
Well, my thing with that situation, too, you have these people who have been here, like you said, 10, 20 years that were dreamers.
Give them a fucking chance to get their citizenship.
Apply to get your citizenship.
And
why haven't they done that?
But here's the thing. Well, you have a lot of these minors that are affected, and you have the minors that, like I said, came over here. They couldn't say no or had no decision. No. The family dragged them over here.
But once they turn 18, what's stopping them from going and getting their citizenship?
Well, here's the thing. Fear.
Well,
okay? Fear of deportation or fear of some action that because they had no control of their situation when they were young, they're going to get punished. Well, I can sympathize for that. I really do.
Well, so that's a problem with the system, and the system has it set up to where if they're in fact dreamers, they should not get citizenship. They should be allowed to apply for it with no
But my idea is this, okay, and this is kind of radical. If you're going to do any kind of adjustments to immigration law and immigration policy, make it so that these toddlers and minors that came over here of no accord of their own, just being brought over with their family, they establish themselves in whatever town, they go to school, they play sports, they do this, they do that, they can speak and read and write English and Spanish, okay? I would say set up a special program just for them with particular line items that they have to meet. But give them a fucking chance to become a citizen.
Right.
Don't give it to them freely.
No.
Give them a chance. Give them a fucking fighting chance.
Hell, most of them have been through, most all of them have been through our school system. So they should know the rights and stuff like that.
Some of these people walking right now are in their fucking 20s.
Dude, there's some in their 20s already. There's some in their 40s already.
And they don't have a fucking green card. They weren't born here. They don't have a citizenship card or nothing. They have nothing. But as soon as they're busted for some reason, they're toast. They get deported, or they used to get deported. You know, I know somebody, and he's been on my channel, but that happened to him, unfortunately. But I think there should be a special program for those types of people. Hey, look, basically they're American. I mean, fuck it. They came over here when they were an infant or a toddler, and they've lived their whole life here. They played sports here. They had their favorite teams here, their favorite television show. I mean, their favorite foods, all that shit. Here, they're American. And you snatch them up and you send them someplace else where they claim they were born at, but they have no tie there. They have no concept of the culture, the language, or politics, or any of that shit. Wherever you send them.
Well, I have a friend went through high school. He wasn't a citizen. His parents weren't citizens, but he was born in Mexico. But they drug him across, right? You know.
Yeah.
And when he graduated high school, he wasn't a citizen still. And he tried getting a job. He couldn't find a job. So he wound up joining the Navy.
Yep.
And got his citizenship that way.
Yep. I know several people that I've actually talked back in high school, when I was in high school, talked to a lot of recruiters, mainly in the Marine Corps. They told me all those stories. They told me that fact that, you come in the military, and if you sign up to a 4-year whatever, you can get your U.S. citizenship by way of serving the country that you are living in, and you can become a United States citizen. And I think that's a good way of doing it, because you're going to have somebody who's been here their whole life, but they're not a citizen. And the easiest way, well, not easiest, it has the most risk, but it's the quickest way that's legal to do it. You know, so you're going to give up basically your life to the government for exchange of, your services. They're gonna clothe you, feed you, train you, ship you someplace, but they're also going to help you become a United States citizen. So you earn, by giving your efforts to the government for the country, you earn that right to become a citizen. And I think that's a good thing. But for the kids that don't want to serve or whatever, or they have other aspirations or whatnot and so forth, there needs to be something that's not as harsh as just round them up and ship them off. There should be something where they have a chance.
Because they don't know anybody in the country that they came from, because they've been here their whole life pretty much. Yeah.
Papa Cotton or Cotton Ministries in the chat.
Yes.
Hello, my friend. Welcome. But anyway, that's. I think they deserve some sort of a break, but I wouldn't give them a freebie. Let's put it that way. Let them go through a process. It doesn't have to be the same process, but let them go through a process and give them, kind of like time served. Okay, they came across when they were 3 years old with their parents, and their parents stayed here, whatever. Okay, and now it's like 15 years later, you're 18, 19 years old. You're still not a citizen. You don't even have a green card, but you've been here basically your whole life, and they need to do something with those people. That give them credit for the time. If they never committed a crime, if they've never been in trouble with the law or anything like that, even a misdemeanor, they've just gone to school, got an education, tried to get a job or whatever, tried to participate in the American life, the American culture. Give them credit for that, because they, like I said, they didn't come over here of their own volition. They were dragged over here as a family. It's not their fault.
Yeah.
They were an unwilling participant because they were a child. Let them come over, or let them at least apply for it, but give them credit for time served.
Time served.
Time based, yeah. If you want to look at it, that's the best analogy I can come up with. Time served living in the United
They
States.
get released early for good behavior.
Being a good citizen. Being a good citizen, basically. And I think they deserve that. They really do.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad for those people that got caught up in the net of, being, rounded up and thrown over back to wherever they were born. I mean, there's lots of stories out there where people that happened to. They end up in this country. They have no family. They have no culture. They don't even speak the fucking language. It's like they're screwed.
Yes.
They're in a worse situation there than they ever were here.
Yeah.
So, but that's just my opinion and 2 cents and shit. So, let's take a look here at the shopping list. This week's list, and it's 2 pages.
No good
political political ads with ex-Trump voters. Where's North Carolina?
It's above South Carolina.
Yes, and non-citizens back on the voter list. Trump on the Joe Rogan show. P. Diddy, LOL. Releasing criminals in England.
Oh,
early
time
voting,
profit.
Early voting, and the icing on the cake, Muslims for Trump.
Aloha snack bar.
Yes. Yeah. That was the latest cascade of shit. But we'll start with political ads with ex-Trump voters. Now, I'm seeing ads I watch a lot of YouTube. Okay, a lot of my favorite programming is on programs or channels. A lot of them woodworking, a lot of mystery channels and things like that. A lot of the bigger channels that have a big budget. Some of the channels that can get away with showing classic movies or even more modern movies without getting struck or taken down. I don't know how the hell they do it. But anyway, so I watch a lot of my primary watching TV is YouTube. There's political ads, and it's bad now. It's real bad. But a lot of the commercials I see, these ads, have quote unquote former Trump voters. Okay? All of them whites, not pointing out a racial stereotype, but all of them white, most of them women, claiming that they voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020. But I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she's for the people. She's been in office for 4 fucking years. What did she do? Raise the rates, raise the tax, more regulation. It's a clusterfuck at the supermarket. I mean, give me a break.
She's for the people, right?
She's
Which
for the people?
Yeah,
the people
that are backing her.
The people, yes. But not only that. Now we have coming out in the news now. We're seeing articles or reports of people say that were in the cabinet or that were aides and worked in the White House. Okay. Right off the bat, the people that were named are all fucking rhinos anyway.
Yeah.
Trump admits it. He admitted, several times that he made mistakes by trusting people who recommended these people to him. Mm-hmm. You see, that's why everybody's freaking out right now, is because Trump already knows who he's not going to pick.
Yes.
And it's not going to be the establishment rhino backstabbers.
And I think he knows who he's going to pick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing. He's going to pick people who are go-getters, who have a proven track record of getting shit done and being able to multitask and things like that. They're not political operatives, let's put it that way. I mean, he himself, he said he couldn't stand John Bolton, okay? But John Bolton was useful when you're negotiating with somebody like Russia or North Korea because he's a maniac wanting to bomb the fuck out of everybody.
He's a war hawk.
Yes, exactly. Right. He wants to bomb everybody. So Trump would use him as a tool in negotiating because they'd see Bolton sitting there, and he's got that psychopath eye, and it's like, oh shit, we don't want to get bombed. But there's people like that in the administration that he had, like this General Kelly.
Yeah, this guy's fucking moron.
Just the funny thing is he basically gave Trump a very good rave review of everything during the time he was there, and then all of a sudden he just crawls out of the woodwork and says, "Oh, he admired Hitler's generals." He's trying to be relevant. What? Yeah, he's trying to be relevant with everybody else, all these aides and staffers who were probably low-level staffers
and were in the room.
But you have to understand one thing too, and someone pointed this out, that pretty much all the people that were in the White House when he came in, like staffers, like White House staff, were all people that were put in by the Obamas, because Obama had 8 years to plant all kinds of seeds. And so now he knows. And it's going to be a glorious, chaotic clusterfuck for these people if he gets back in the White House.
Get your popcorn ready.
Yes, a glorious clusterfuck.
Well, I think there's two people he needs to have in some kind of advisory position. I think I know who you're going to know who they are.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One is Sebastian Gorka.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And remember, he was forced out.
Yes.
And who forced him out?
Yeah.
The people.
The deep state.
Yeah, the deep state people forced him out. Probably Kelly. Because I know Kelly 86, that one chick of his that was on Apprentice, the black gal.
Oh, well, he should never have had her.
Yeah, she was,
Omarosa.
She's volatile. Yeah, she was volatile.
And the other guy, but he's already said he wouldn't. Steve Bannon.
Yeah, I don't blame him for wanting to get back in. Screw it.
But Bannon's already said, I could do more with my show, my Rumble show, than I can in at the White House.
Yeah, but he does need to bring Gorka back. But
I would hope that he probably wouldn't do it after what he went through, though. But I would hope that he would try to reach out to General Flynn and try to get him back on board.
I have a feeling that Flynn would say yes.
Possibly.
Anyway, yeah. But you have all these ex-people, ex-Trump voters and stuff on these commercials. And whether they're honest or not, I don't know, but I can guarantee you they were paid. They were fucking paid.
No. Have you been paying attention to the chat?
Unfortunately, no, but I'm assuming that how far should I go back? Oh, shit. All right, there we go. I could never be an American citizen as you drive on the wrong side of the road. Well,
well, we do drive on the right side.
We do drive on the right side of the road. The other side of the road, I don't know. You'll get used to it. Just cock your head over to the side. It'll look like you're driving fine.
There you go. Put the steering wheel in the middle.
They don't. Yeah, exactly. They don't do it in the same way. Yeah. Do you still shoot engines? Oh shit. Native Americans are protected class in America. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Some reservations are better than others. I mean, as far as like the quality of life, but
depends if there's a casino there.
Well, I do have to admit, I knew. Some of those casinos in San Diego, they make a lot of money. The problem is, I used to deliver newspapers on the res, on one of the reservations. And I will tell you, that's one of the scariest fucking places to be. especially if you're my skin tone. Even though I'm half Native American anyway, it's a scary fucking place.
Not necessarily, but
It's scary because of the poverty. Even though they're being taken care of by the casino and the government, whatever, there's still some poverty. There's still some problems.
It still ain't enough.
But there's problems in every community anyway.
Yes.
Black, Latino, white, American Indian, all of them. They all have problems. And it's a shame,
A lot of the problems, especially on reservations, is drugs.
No, that's a felony. It's called murder. Can't do that time problem.
Yeah.
Probably changed when John Wayne died. That was a little bit before that. They could be. Yes, absolutely. I bet Wookiee is part of the Proudfoot tribe. No, actually, no. There's Cherokee, there is Iroquois, and there's also Blackfoot.
Iroquois,
not Iroquois.
Oh, okay.
But I think the prominent one is Cherokee. I think Cherokee on your grandmother's side.
Yes.
My mother. So yeah. I beat someone in chess in North Carolina. They don't talk to me again. Oh well. See, there you go. You beat him in chess.
You didn't let the Wookiee win.
They're releasing criminals in Britain and
yes, no shit.
Exactly. They are. And I saw Gabi had a video this morning talking about it, pointing out some very important points. It's crazy. A rig doesn't really look like it's going to work. Not that they won't try. Oh yeah, they're going to try.
They're going to try something.
They're freaking out. They're freaking out big time. From these slides, I assume Wookiee Fever is colorblind. No, I'm not colorblind. Not yet, anyway.
But he's probably tone deaf.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Tone deaf.
Who?
Hey?
Huh?
Huh?
Bone wef? What?
Turn left. What?
Mean? There's no ads on YouTube. Yes, there are. Well, if you use ad blockers, I don't have ad blockers, unfortunately, but there's a shit ton of freaking ads now. Rhinoceros. Yes, Rhinoceros. Rhinoceros. I did a Trump earlier. You need Jim Carrey too. No, he's a commie pig.
Yeah.
Both Trump and Rumble is slang for fart in Britain. I did a Rumble. Nice.
In the toilet doesn't count their prime profit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot of ex-Trump voters, etc., on these commercials, and I think these people, if they really are truly ex-Trump voters,
they're allegedly.
But I think they're in general. I think they're just paid commercial actors. I mean, really. But anyway, let's move on to North Carolina. What the hell happened in North Carolina? It's not in the news anymore. What's going on?
It's gone the way of Maui.
What the hell? There's still a missing persons list that was posted somewhere that had almost 3,000 freaking names on it of human beings who lived in the area that have not been found yet. Yet the last report I heard or read on the official, MSM, was about 200 to 250 bodies.
Yeah.
Yet, from sources that I deem extremely credible, but other outlets say are disinformation or misinformation, were telling me that because they work or they have somebody that they know, a personal friend or relative who works in the hospitals there, that they were running out of space to store dead bodies. Allegedly.
That I would not doubt that.
That they were having to import freezer trucks to utilize because the morgue was full. a lot of bodies hadn't been identified. And then the hospital administrations allegedly told employees to not divulge the counts. Don't divulge the counts. That's allegedly from hospital staff. Whether it's the truth or not, I don't know. But yeah, it's quite telling, and I see a lot of this stuff it's always from the left side where they're bitching about misinformation and disinformation. You don't really see it a lot from the other side as far as bitching about it outside of the oppression. And I can tell you there's oppression.
Oh, yes.
You say the wrong word on this platform and you get your freaking stream pulled by the bots because they're looking for words and phrases and definitely pictures or anything else. So this platform's notorious for that.
You mean Count Dankula?
Count Dracula or Count Dankula?
Yes. Big smile.
Yeah, big smile. So yeah, North Carolina has kind of like just disappeared in most respects, at least. And even on X, which is kind of surprising, but I know that a lot of the information was coming through Facebook. And I know Meta, who owns Facebook and Instagram, have pretty much oppressed everything.
Oh, of course.
That's not favorable to the powers that be, in my opinion.
Right.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, there's some shenanigans happening on TikTok.
Of course there is.
Because,
Chinese owned.
Well, no. Well, it's Chinese owned, but it's American run.
Yeah.
So it appears to me that former employees of the once Twitter, in my opinion, may have been hired by TikTok USA.
Yeah.
Because apparently a lot of the shenanigans that are now happening to TikTokers that never happened before are happening to them that used to happen on the old Twitter. So there's that, in my opinion. Like, blue writing on the blue background should be illegal. What are you? Illegal. What the fuck?
You go ahead and criticizing him.
That's right.
Prophet. Keep it up.
No. Oh.
It is a little hard to read.
Well, get your fucking glasses on.
They are on. I can't go to...
I see it just fine. Then get your binoculars.
Yeah. You see it this time because you got your nose right up against the damn screen.
Yes, I do. Well, hell. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So, I already talked about... Wookie is only getting it because the Wabbit isn't here. The Wabbit. The Wabbit. Yeah, he's not here, unfortunately.
The Wabbit.
The Wabbit. Kill the Wabbit. Okay. North Carolina. The Rabbit's from North Carolina. He lives in North Carolina, right on the outskirts of where all that shit hit the fan over there.
Yes, because it kind of affected him big time.
So yeah, they're still reeling from a lot of BS over there.
Yeah.
Some official reports I've seen that the FEMA is out there supposedly helping people. FEMA, good old FEMA.
Yeah, yeah. We're here from the government, and we're here
to help. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. So, number 3 here, non-citizens back on the voter lists. Yeah. Incredible. A federal judge. No. A federal judge.
Michigan?
No, Virginia. A federal judge said that Virginia had to put 1,500 names back on the voter roll because they couldn't pull them off inside. They pulled them off too soon, which is inside apparently a 90-day window. Yet, these are self-professed non-U.S. citizens. Now, it didn't say illegals. they're non-U.S. citizens. And for anybody that wants to know, it is American immigration law that as a non-citizen resident, you cannot vote in federal elections.
So that
You
means
can
if
only
you have
vote in federal elections once you've had your naturalization come through and confirmed, and you've taken your oath of citizenship.
so
Only
like
after that time you are legally eligible to vote in a federal election.
You have a work visa, you can't vote here.
Correct. Yes. Now, that being said, are these quote-unquote non-citizens that were put back on the voter rolls in the state of Virginia, are they actually visaed non-citizens or no visa non-citizens?
Right. Probably a little both.
Possibly. Either way, I can tell you right now from reading what it says that will happen to these people. If a non-citizen is caught voting in a federal election and casting a ballot in a federal election, not a state election, federal election, it's an automatic fine, jail time, and deportation.
Right.
And your bid to become a citizen just got fucked.
Yeah.
So it's pretty heavy-handed. Now
that's if it's you're not in a blue state where they're going to say, "Oh, thank you for voting." And
well, here's the thing. The law states that you can vote in a state election if it's allowed in a state or a city, local municipality. You can vote for just that area. You can't vote in a federal election. Okay, that's what the law. That's the federal law. That's what the immigration law says. You can't vote in it. And that's been since 1996. So, yeah. But it's there. It's written there. I mean, you look it up on the fucking internet, it'll tell you right there, like the first page.
But you and I both know the laws are only as good as if they're followed.
True. But here's the thing. What we're seeing is, now, we're hearing, allegedly, but it's been verified on multiple different occasions, in multiple different locations, by multiple different fucking eyewitnesses, that these non-visaed non-citizens are being given applications for welfare, applications for Social Security, applications for registering to vote.
Yep.
Okay. Which none of those should be given freely. I mean, but it's just my opinion. But I think what we're seeing is non-citizens are being raised above the level of actual citizens of the country, which is pissing a lot of people off. And that is why, in my opinion, you're seeing these communities in, say, like the Bronx and Detroit are openly coming out for Donald Trump.
Well, it's pissed off the people that it came across the border and did it legally.
Yes, exactly. They got a green
card. It's pissing them off.
They got a green card. They busted their ass. They did everything they could. They stayed out of jail. They didn't do anything wrong. They came. They got their citizenship. They took the test. They became an American citizen. And it just, now they're having people come over from South American countries, and they're just giving them all this shit. They're giving them EBT. They're giving them fucking, Visa debit cards. They're giving them cell phones. They're giving them applications to all kinds of benefits that if you or me or our neighbor tried to go and request these benefits, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
We'd be showing the door. It's tough shit.
The most of them here in America too, Time Prophet.
Do the dead get deported when they vote for Biden? Yeah. No, it's not. They don't. Unfortunately, They don't get exhumed to see if they're still dead. And they could be fucking vampires or zombies, but I don't know. I doubt that. Most real British people would fail the citizenship test, and that is a fact. You know what? You're definitely right, and it goes right in that because it also covers United States citizens. There's a lot of shit that we're not taught in schools anymore. Elementary school, middle school, high school. A lot of the basic education system has basically done away with a lot of the main things that you have to know about, which is mostly history based about the formation of the country, all the way pre-Revolutionary War.
They kind of gloss over things in history classes now.
They really do.
They don't really go into anything.
They really do. They really do. And then if you do get anything, it's one semester out of a 4-year high school.
Yeah, if it's.
But the thing is,
they don't teach any kind of government class anymore. Right?
No, fuck no. Civics, no. But guess what? I believe on the naturalization test, that's part of it.
Yeah.
You have to know all kinds of shit. You got to know the Constitution, frontwards and backwards, the Declaration of Independence, all kinds of civics. That's the thing. A lot of these kids today in this country, over the last 20, 30 years, have missed out on civics for the most part. I mean, it's a shame, but here's what it is.
Yeah.
I realize stupid people in schools, then they will act like a good sheep that they are. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If they're taught that the government will take care of them, then they will expect the government to take care of them.
Oh, yeah. So let's move on to the exciting shit now. Trump on Joe Rogan's show.
Woo-hoo.
Now, apparently that was a 3-hour interview.
Yes.
The longest interview Trump has ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw clips of it. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Cotton. Yeah, they changed it to social studies.
Yeah.
Which, for whether it's good or bad, I don't know. But I think that the actual subject matter has changed when they changed it from civics to social studies. I think they changed the majority of the subject matter, or they started to.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. Who's Joe Rogan? Yeah, all right. Well, he's the guy that crucified Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, live on stage.
Host a stunt show on TV. Yeah, he used to own. What was that freaking show?
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. Yeah, that was a crazy ass show.
He was on Fear Factor, and then before that, he was on News Radio.
But he was a stand-up comedian.
He was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, originally.
And before that, he was a martial artist and a fighter, professional fighter.
Nice.
In martial arts.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, and then he toasted Carlos Mencia's career. Like
called Carlos Mencia out when Carlos Mencia was on stage at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, he burned him hardcore.
Yeah.
And Carlos Mencia, he couldn't defend himself, which is kind of sad because I always enjoyed Carlos's shows. I enjoyed his TV show too.
Yeah, but you got to ask now, how much was that was somebody else's stuff, or was it actually his at that point?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's a shame though, because it was funny. And he was funny. It was a funny show, but it is what it is.
I still like the episode when he had I can't remember his name now. The monster from Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Peter Boyle.
Oh, yeah.
When you had Peter Boyle come out.
Yeah. Oh, what did they talk about? What did he talk about with Peter Boyle?
Well, they were talking about, races and stuff like that.
I think I remember that.
And Peter goes, and Peter was doing this spiel, and at the end he goes, and Mencia said, "Thank you, my white friend." And he goes, "Thank you, my beaner friend."
Yeah, because he's not Mexican. They're from like Honduras or someplace.
Yeah.
His brother was funnier than shit when they do the they had his brother on there, his older brother, and his brother would do the the parody of what the fuck Sacha Baron Cohen's freaking Borat. It was Borato or something like that, you know. Oh my God. He had the bushy wig and the bushy mustache.
Yeah.
He'd do the Borat impressions. I don't like American stand-up comedians. I mean, I like Gene Wilder in movies, but his stand-up was totally unfunny. Gene Wilder was a good comedic actor. He had great freaking timing.
Yes.
Great actor.
He didn't
Great
do too much stand-up, though.
Yeah. You know why you enjoyed Mencia? Because you stole all his stuff from funnier comedians. Yeah. That's probably why, Cotton. I don't doubt it. You know why Amy Schumer was funny? Patricia Neal.
Yeah.
I never liked Amy Schumer.
No,
I really didn't. I didn't. I did. She fell off. She fell off right when he died. Not a coincidence. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
There you go. I meant Richard Pryor. Oh, dude, Richard Pryor. Holy shit.
God.
Oh my God. Patrice is a goat. Yeah, Richard Pryor. Oh my God. Richard Pryor. There was a movie in the 1960s that had Richard Pryor post mustache.
Yeah.
And it had Dom DeLuise and a couple of other notable actors. And Richard Pryor's character, he was like a police detective. I don't know if they were investigating a murder or a robbery or something, but it was funnier than shit. But I can't remember the name of it. And it's a pity I can't recall it. But I know Dom DeLuise was in it when he was still relatively thin because it was the 60s. Him. Who else was in it? There was some other comedic actors in it too. It was just, oh my God. Anyway, if someone figure that out, let me know because I want to get that freaking movie. It's got Richard Pryor in its 1960s with Dom DeLuise, and he didn't have his mustache then. Richard Pryor didn't, and he played a police detective. So hopefully someone out there in the land will know. Always get Gene and Richard mixed up. Really?
Yeah, really?
Really? I think those are much funnier, and they don't write their own lines. I think the ones that actually can ad-lib on the fly and make shit better is the funniest, the best. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that used to did some ad-lib shit because they forgot their lines, and they kept it in the movie. Like Rickles?
Yeah.
So Trump on the Joe Rogan. Sorry, people, I'm stuffing my face. It's just a habit.
Because you're a Wookiee.
Oh, yep. So Trump was on the Joe Rogan show for 3 hours. We had a very interesting conversation. Had conversations. Now, I read someone made a post on X right after that. After the podcast came out.
Hey.
Yeah.
Holy Moses.
Holy Moses.
Holy Moses.
Who is Holy Moses?
The movie you're looking for.
Was that the one?
Richard Pryor, Dom DeLuise, Madeline Kahn, Dudley Moore.
Oh, yeah. But it's like the late 60s, right? Mid-late 60s?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Is there a link?
I can't find one.
Oh, okay. What's it called again?
Holy Moses.
Holy Moses. Really? That's not the one where he played Moses, though, is it?
I don't know.
I remember that, but that was later on in the late 70s or early 80s, I thought. Anyway, I remember that movie, but this one was like in the 1960s, like late 60s, because they had the 60s style. Everyone was wearing the thin ties and stuff, and Dom DeLuise was real thin, and he didn't have a beard or anything. He still had some hair. 1980 was Holy Moses.
Okay.
Was it Wild in the Streets?
That was
with Richard Pryor, Dom DeLuise. Like I said, Dom didn't have a beard; he was thinner. really thin, and
Anyway,
Pryor didn't have a mustache. Cool. Yeah, one more 1980. I remember that. That was a funny ass movie.
probably Wild in the Streets then, 1968.
Probably Wild in the Streets. Yeah, probably. Could check that out. Yeah. Okay. So Trump was on Joe Rogan. So it's a 3-hour interview. Trump says this is the longest interview I ever had, but he enjoyed it.
Yes.
So
He's
now
got longer.
Rogan is a conversationalist.
Yes.
And that's what they
Long
had. They had
form.
a conversation, you know.
It wasn't an interview.
It was an interview, but it was more of a conversation.
It wasn't an interview, they were saying.
Well,
I mean, he wasn't being grilled on policies and stuff like that. They were just having a conversation.
Okay.
I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I got to finish.
I haven't watched it. Like I said, I've seen bits and pieces here and there. So, but the thing is, though, now they've already known. They have known each other before.
Yes, for years.
They have mingled in the same events and things like that before. Directly or indirectly, they've been around each other. But what happened was, there was a post. Someone posted on X, and Cotton may have seen this, and probably the Time Prophet too, and probably others out there have seen it. There was a post on X of a guy, I think it was a repost from a guy that was a big Joe Rogan fan.
Yes.
And he watches all his podcasts. And his wife isn't a big fan of Joe Rogan, but she watched this particular one with Trump. She was a hardcore Kamala Harris Democrat.
Yeah.
She watched this with him the whole 3 hours. According to the post, it turned her because this is not the guy that is being told is who Trump is.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was a conversation and not a grilled interview or whatever, and so it turned her opinion. And apparently, according to the husband, she's going to be voting Trump.
Yeah.
So you have that situation because it's already got 20 million views.
Yeah.
Probably more than that. So, wait. Update. The movie you are after is The Busybody, 1967. Okay. Papa Cotton or Cotton Ministry says I've seen the first hour. Cool. Was it good? Was it good, Cotton? Like I've only seen bits and pieces of it, so I got to actually sit down and watch it. So, but so this hardcore Democrat Kamala Harris voter before she voted watched this with her husband for the whole 3 hours and realized that maybe, just maybe, all the political ads and bullshit are wrong about Trump. Mm-hmm. And Trump seems very genuine. Whereas all the times I've ever seen Camilla talk, whether it's an interview or at a rally, either debate, it always seems to be scripted.
I grew up in a middle family.
Yeah, middle family. Here we go. Joe Rogan interview flipped her. Is this why the 19th Amendment was a goddamn mistake? Oh, shit. Could be. Cotton could be.
Wow.
Why is there so many amendments? Couldn't they get it right the first time? The Constitution was designed with a base in mind, and the base is the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments. And that's the base. Like you build a home, you have to have a nice foundation. Well, the foundation was the Bill of Rights, the first 10. After that, those are the things that supplement the foundation, are supposedly supposed to supplement that foundation. Okay. not go against it, not be detrimental to the foundation, but be supplemental to the foundation. Wait, in that case, they did get it right the first time. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like with the 13th Amendment was prohibition. Am I correct in that? They repealed it, the 13th, after about a dozen years of fuckery by the government. Found out, oh, this is a mistake.
I thought this was
Here's a little tidbit of some 6 ways to Kevin Bacon type stuff, if you're into that.
Well, there's actually 32 amendments. Only 27 got ratified.
Well, right. Well, here's the thing. This all started. We talk about, we're talking about earlier. We're talking about tariffs and taxes on alcohol, and how prior to the income tax, basically the United States was funded through tariffs and alcohol tax, probably tobacco too, in the United States. Well, there's a little thing that happened before the turn of the 19th century, before the turn of the 20th century, late 1800s, was the temperance movement. Now, the temperance movement was spearheaded by a lady by the name of Carrie Nation. And her band of Karens would storm bars and pretty much destroy liquor bottles. They did a lot of civil unrest. They would, smash up kegs of beer and whiskey, bust whiskey bottles, stuff like that. Kind of like truly try to push the envelope. They were part of the suffrage movement, but they were kind of like a fringe movement, the temperance movement. They got sick and tired of their husbands coming home drunk. But during that time, there was no income tax. It was all, like I said, tariff and alcohol tax, tobacco tax, stuff like that. So once they had pushed their narrative to get prohibition as in, a lot of things were happening around the same time. One, the United States senators before all this were appointed by states' legislatures. So they represented the interests of the states. They were not elected. They were appointed by the legislators. And they were sent to Washington as emissaries to represent the interests of the states' governments.
Yes.
And then the representatives who were federally elected, they represented the federal side of Congress. Senators represented the state side of Congress. So there was a push at the same time to make senators, they wanted to federalize it, voting, wanted them to be voted in. Along at the same time with that was the temperance movement, the suffrage movement, all kind of went hand in hand because the income tax didn't come about until after, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it was just before Prohibition, because they had to switch the senators from representing the states who made money off of alcohol and stuff like that. They had to get rid of that revenue source, but they had to bring in the senators to federalize them to push through federal income tax to take the place of the revenue for the government, part of the revenue. Still taking tariffs, but alcohol was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Uh-huh.
Memes are illegal.
You're probably not too far off there.
Here we go. First thing passed after the 19th was a prohibition. Yep. Just read a tweet yesterday at how some women wanted to make weed illegal again because she doesn't like the smell.
Use it for a breeze.
Yeah, exactly. Use Febreze. I've seen otherwise, but it may be all bullshit. No, memes are illegal. Yeah. So yeah. And then regarding Trump on Rogan, I don't know if he mentioned it, but I know he's mentioned it prior, is he wants to eliminate income tax.
Yeah.
he wants to eliminate income tax across the board.
Right.
And I personally, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I think it's a great idea.
Extra $100 a month, you know?
Yep. You got to go take care of a thing.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Already did.
Oh, okay, sweet. Let me ramble and I'll just take over.
Yeah. I'll just sit here.
Everybody.
I'll just go, mm-hmm.
I'll just distract everybody. Yeah, no. But Trump wants to, first it started out with no tax on tips. Then it was no tax on Social Security as well.
Right.
And now he's coming up with basically no income tax, which means abolishing income tax, which supposedly the federal income tax by constitutionally had to be passed by, was it 2/3? Is it 2/3 of the states?
Yes.
Had to ratify it?
Yes.
But there's always been a question about one of the states because there's no record of them positively passing on the measure. And I can't remember what state it was. Maybe it's more than one. But they had one shape. The claim by other people. I don't know. It's allegedly. The alleged claim is that by some of these no tax people is that one of the states did not ratify the amendment to bring along the income tax. So there's still some questions because according to what some researchers have dug up, or not dug up, let's put it that way, they can't find evidence that it was ratified. Yet the Congress, again, once it was federalized, passed it as it being constitutional. I know there's been several lawsuits over the decades where people have gone to court challenging income tax and all this stuff like that. And, I'm sure that some evidence was brought forth and brought to light, but still, I believe some people are still looking into that. Tipping in America has gone out of control.
Yes, it has.
At this point, yeah.
Well, you go into a place and they expect a tip. No.
Right.
A tip is if you've done your due diligence, then you get a tip. You know.
You know what? Every time I've gone out someplace to eat, and I used to do this all the time, I would intentionally overtip. Back in the day when I lived in San Diego, in Temecula, if I went out to dinner, eat someplace, especially sit down, I would always, give a couple of dollars more than what would be prescribed.
Right.
And I know from dating girls back in the day that were waitresses or hostesses, the standard tip was about 15%.
Wookie dated? What the hell?
Yeah, no shit. The standard was about 15%. So you would take, basically the best way to do it is you would take the sales tax, the tax that you'd pay.
Double it.
You just double it, and then that would be, and I would double it, round it up, and add an extra buck or something, Like if I had a $20 bill and, whatever, I would just say, fuck it, because I wasn't making money back then. Not now, but
yeah.
Not now.
Right.
But yeah, the people that kind of push for, you got to, that demand a tip, like, no, fuck you. You didn't.
And I don't like you go into restaurants like you were talking about earlier. If you have a large group of people and you go into a restaurant, they add it into the bill already, which is bullshit.
Yeah, they like some kind of like a surcharge or some shit.
If you're over like 6 people in your party, you're going to get charged,
Yeah, depending on the restaurant, depending on the chain, and depending on the state.
They add it into the bill like right away. They don't give you the option to pay a tip.
Oh, yeah. That's usually where they have pooled tips, which I personally don't agree with.
No.
I don't agree with pooled tips. I mean, if somebody gets lucky and they get a fat cat that comes in, and it gives them, good tips, then
right.
I know some places, and one of the girls I was dating, she had regular customers that would ask for her to serve them,
Yeah.
and if you have regular customers, of course, and you're doing a good job, they're gonna come back. People are gonna come back to you because you did a good job, and they enjoyed your work, enjoyed your conversation, okay, and you took care of them, and they appreciated that, so they want to go back and have you as their server again. Because I know that happened a lot. It probably happens even still today, where people will go into a higher end restaurant and ask for such and such.
Well, it's
I want to be at such and such's table.
It's funny now, especially in this wacky state I live in. You got restaurant workers making $15 an hour and getting tips on top of that.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
Yeah. Cotton in the chest is I used to work at the restaurants, but I didn't have a job that tip worthy apparently. Fuck all that shit. Yeah. I can understand that, man. I can understand that. Holy crap. They were tipping in Britain in the old days, but only if you got good service. But we ain't doing it for years now. It happens. Shit's Abby tips his hat. Abby tips his hat.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. So Trump on Rogan. Apparently it was a home run out of the park.
Right.
With 3 men on. So it was a grand slam.
Many people are saying that podcast could trigger the end of mainstream media.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it at all. I really don't. From every, I'm not a Joe Rogan fan. I don't watch his podcast, but I do understand that he's good at what he does.
Yes,
he's really honest, and he does tend to be fair if you're fair with him.
Right.
And I respect that.
So
I have a lot of respect for him.
He doesn't try to hide anything. If you're having a conversation with him, and this is what happened with the Trump conversation, they would conversate, and he would let Trump answer. Wouldn't interrupt him, wouldn't interject, wouldn't do any of that. He just let Trump say what he had to say.
Yeah.
And that's the way Rogan does with all of his guests.
Nobody watches it. Yeah, exactly. Nobody watches it. A bunch of freaking propaganda guys. Well, you know what's funny? The American media, here's the problem with the American media. This is why it's so bad right now. Is something that Barack Obama signed in his first term, toward the end of his first term. And there was either a congressional bill or an executive order. But either way, he signed it, approving that the national media can lie to the American public.
Yeah, and I don't know how they got away with that one.
I don't know how they got away with that, but ever since that time, it's been growing and growing and growing. That's why Trump coined the term fake media. He's the one that called them out first, fake media.
Yeah, fake news.
And fake news. And it all stems from that. So, yeah.
Who was the first person to use the term fake news?
I want to say it was Trump.
No.
Oh, who?
Norm Macdonald on Saturday Night Live weekend.
Nice. Norm.
This week's fake news. That's what he would say.
Yeah. Fake news. This week's fake news. Okay. So here we go. Some fun and excitement from the world of P. Diddy. P. Diddy. What's the over and under that he's going to get Epstein?
I don't want to take that bet.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know what's funny is you're here. I'm reading several, according to some outlets, there's some people in the entertainment industry that have disappeared.
Yeah, no.
Celebrities, they've kind of like dropped out of they've dropped out of existence all of a sudden. So, wait. What's the slander over here? The reason Trump was a fart was that Trump is short for trumpet. Yeah, no kidding. A trumpet can sound like a fart. We do Trumps all the time. There you go.
Yeah.
Viva la Trump. So P. Diddy's got a list. It's probably just as big and broad as Epstein's list.
Well, you remember when he was arrested, right?
I kind of vaguely do. I know they were manhunting him and they couldn't find him, but yet there was video of him at some airport, like hanging around.
So he was at some airport hanging around.
Yeah.
He had a private jet, right, that took off from that airport and went to a non-extradition country. The jet did.
And he
wasn't on the jet, though.
No.
But one of his people were on the jet.
I wonder what they had with them.
And what did they have with them?
Yeah, exactly.
Because remember the thing was that the safe where all these supposed files was cleaned out before the feds got there.
Yep, exactly.
That means he was tipped off what was happening.
He was tipped off. Yep, that's why they were searching for him.
So what's in those files and where are they at?
Wherever that plane landed.
And they can't get to him. So.
Yep. So they can't get to him at this point unless they do something nefarious to get him. But so he's pretty much in the can. Now, I know that when he was first arrested, he was sharing a cell with that Bankman-Fried kid.
Yeah.
The guy that did a massive Ponzi scheme and then gave all the money that he made off of it, the billions, to the Democrat Party. But then didn't he get off? Didn't he get like a light sentence or some shit?
He got some kind of a light sentence, but I think he's still in custody.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because he was sharing a cell with P. Diddy. Yeah. That'll go well. Good old P. Diddy. I have a feeling that he won't be lasting long in prison.
Well,
he won't be breathing, allegedly, in my opinion.
Well, let's look at some of the things that have come out. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, people supposedly at parties that we didn't know about.
But here's the thing. Now, doesn't this lend some credence to what Corey Feldman was trying to say?
Yes, it does.
You
Absolutely,
look at a guy like Corey Feldman who's been crucified, destitute now because he was trying to spread the word. People wouldn't listen to him. And now all of a sudden, you've got P. Diddy in the entertainment industry.
I mean, they were bashing him and calling him crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think people? What happened to Macaulay Culkin? What fucked his head up?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, they both hung out together. They grew up together. Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. Corey Haim, didn't he kill himself?
Yeah.
I'm assuming he did.
Corey Haim did. Committed suicide. Well, and look at this. They're talking about. They're talking about Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
They're talking about maybe what happened to Michael Jackson wasn't really an accident.
No, I don't think it was. How could any doctor give a human being a shot?
Propofol. Propofol.
If he wasn't trying to 86 it. And
you know what the nickname for that stuff is?
Huh.
Milk of amnesia.
Nice. Milk of amnesia, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
That stuff is so potent, it's not even funny.
Wow.
It's supposed to be administered at a hospital where they have the equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was at his home.
Nice.
And got it. Joan Rivers.
Yeah. Right after she said that allegedly the former first lady was actually a first guy. Allegedly.
Yeah.
On camera.
Yeah.
And then she went in for a routine facelift or whatever, and died.
It was a Botox injection.
Yeah.
Why do you think her Joan Rivers' daughter went into hiding? You haven't seen hiding her hair of her since her mom passed away.
Yeah, that woman wasn't murdered. You think Cotton? You don't think she was murdered? You think it was heart attack?
No, she was murdered. That woman was murdered.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. My face wasn't up against the screen.
Good Lord.
I misread. No. Yeah, she wasn't murdered. She was murdered. She was murdered. It was not normal causes.
And you talk, and the other here, I mean, take it for what it will, but Justin Bieber,
Okay.
who was at these parties, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that kid got fucked up in the head too. They abused that little dude. I mean, you see some of the shit, some of these videos that Katy Perry was doing to him, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They messed with that poor guy. Fuck that kid up.
And you know, and thank God he's kind of got his life together again. You know, he's gotten married and has a child and stuff like that now. But I mean,
didn't he get affected by? Didn't he have some sort of like palsy shit or something?
Something like Bell's.
Yeah, that came shortly after that he received something that everybody else supposedly did too.
Yeah, it was Bell's palsy he got for a little bit.
Yeah, that's a common side effect.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. The Time Prophet in the chat saying that the government is releasing criminals in Britain, not just England. It is like me saying that America is Texas. Yeah. Yeah, England. Yeah. Well, you know, you're all English, so sue me for being a racist. But yeah, so going down to this one here, they're releasing criminals in England, Britain, Great Britain, whatever. Yeah. They are. Gobby, I saw a Gobster's video this morning regarding some criminals that were released from the prison system, and that one of a couple of the individuals, or one of the individuals that was released, apparently was picked up by a fleet of Bentleys and high-end Mercedes when he was released.
Yeah.
Apparently, this guy was some sort of a mob boss or in control of some drug cartel or something, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And he was giving thumbs up. It was a big up to Keir Starmer. Literally, he was standing there with his thumbs up like this, yelling at the media, big up to Keir Starmer. Thank you for releasing me so I can go back and do my normal trade craft.
Yes.
So, yeah. Potato, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Tomato, potato. That's right.
Yeah. Time Prophet. I made the mistake of referring to a coworker one time as English, and he yelled at me for several weeks afterwards saying that he was bloody Welsh, not English.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't do that again.
What's going on? Yeah. Well, yeah. That's calling somebody a Mexican who looks Hispanic and they're actually from
Spain,
Guatemala. Yeah, no, that's calling someone from Spain Hispanic, and they're actually consider themselves European.
Right.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, so they're releasing criminals in the big island of Great Britain all over the place, and it's causing problems because crime is going up. They're claiming that they're relieving congestion in the prisons. That's only because they're arresting grandmothers who are silently praying in front of a building, or people holding a sign across the street from a protest. They're giving them multiple year sentences because of their fucking heavy-handed, draconian bullshit kangaroo courts over there. Wow. Your justice system hates you, Time Prophet. They're bought off by the government. They're turning your fucking place into literally either Orwell or Fahrenheit 451. Either book, it's all dystopian bullshit, and they're making it come real by doing what they're doing, in my opinion. I wanted something happy to talk about. Let's talk about early voting, shall we?
Oh, good Lord.
Early voting, isn't it great? We're already seeing people going into the voting to their voting precincts and finding out they already voted. What? Yes, there's stories out there, allegedly, with video evidence, allegedly, of an actual person who went in to vote and was told they already voted, allegedly, while they still were in possession of their unopened mail-in ballot, allegedly. So, yeah, there's that shit going on. And, yeah, there's a lot of that shit going on. But in places that don't have a lot of bullshit going on, early voting apparently, according to what I've been told on the airwaves and also I've been reading in certain publications or blogs, yeah, it looks like Trump's a hot item.
Imagine that.
Yes. Did you know that paper does not really burst into flames at 4:51? Ray Bradbury made it up. Damn Ray Bradbury.
Damn him.
Damn him. So, yeah, so early voting. People are banking their votes early. I know that, who was it? Dan Bongino has really been preaching that every day on his show. I listen to him when I can in the mornings. He's been preaching banking the vote, but he's also been telling people to go online to their county recorder's office and look up early voting numbers, and it should be posted because they're public, and take screenshots of the numbers every day up till election.
Yeah, but some states won't reveal results until election day.
Well, it's the counties. It's your county board of recorders. It's public information. Once you voted, it's public record.
That you voted, not who you voted for.
That you voted. Right. You know, if they just break it down in between Democrat and Republican. I think that's what they do. They don't go specifically, but you know.
But how do they know if you're Democrat or Republican? It's supposed to be like, sealed up.
I'm not either.
Right.
I'm independent.
Me too.
Yeah. Politics first thing in the morning. That's not healthy. I know. That's why I had 64 ounces of coffee this morning.
This is why we need bourbon in the morning.
Oh, yeah. I don't have any. Damn it.
There's a liquor store right down the street from you. I know.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
You could hoof it down there really quick and be back in time.
I know.
God knows, no one's awake when you wake up. You could go down there by yourself and not have to worry about it.
It's dark.
There's this new invention. Maybe you heard of it called a flashlight.
Yeah. Bad things happen with people walking down the street with a flashlight.
Carry a stick.
Here you can carry a boomstick.
Yes. But someone in this chat doesn't have one yet.
I know, right? I know. Damn it. But anyway, so early voting is making the Democrats sweat bricks. Because not only because it's, Republicans are coming out and they're setting records. I've been reading read a couple articles this morning. In some states and some specific cities are seeing record numbers of early voting.
Damn.
Like record numbers of early voting. They're not saying who they're voting for, or it's not saying who's voting, who's being voted on most, who's the most popular. They're just saying this record number. Well, given the history of reports of people being interviewed on the street in urban neighborhoods, most of those people are going to be leaning red.
Well, yeah.
Hard red.
Hard lead?
Not blue.
No, I have hard lead. It's right here.
Yeah, you have hard lead. Yes, you do. But they're going to be voting red in the urban areas, and most of those people are people of color. So they didn't like being talked down to, or by a former president or a couple former presidents. They didn't like being talked down to by entertainers.
No.
telling them that they're not down with the system if they vote red. You know,
Well, it's funny because none of these people have any leg to stand on when they tell people this. They have no concept of the real world because they've lived in fantasy land their whole life.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, he said he listens to politics in the mornings. Bongino. Yeah, I listen to politics. Yeah, I can't hear that shit every day. I don't blame you. But I'm usually awake for about 4 hours before he comes on anyway. So.
I listen to Steven Crowder in the mornings.
But anyway, so the early voting seems to be leaning hard red in a majority of the areas that we're seeing statistics right now. And when you have comments such as what you made a comment to me about something that was said by a politician about Mrs. Harris, was quite telling. But I think we've known that for a while, since after the first debate, when all the things happened, got shoved out.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, that article I sent you this morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Kind of.
Yep.
Confirms that, I think.
There's a lot of panic. That's why you have people. That's why you now have the campaign of he's a Nazi. He's a Nazi. Nazi.
Well, they have.
Nazi.
The funny thing is, look at it this way: Trump does a rally, right?
Yeah.
Does he come out and just she's illegitimate, blah blah blah, all this, just attacking her? No, he starts talking about his policies. He starts talking about what he wants to do.
Yeah,
with the
and he calls her horrible, which is not.
He calls her horrible. But then he says it's a horrible administration. The government's corrupt now. Blah blah blah. All this stuff, right? But that's not all he says. She comes out and says Trump bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump bad. The whole rally.
Orange man, Hitler, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is all you need to know. For the last 4 years, we have this current administration. The number 2 person in the administration is her.
Yeah, but she doesn't understand that.
Now, the current guy in charge is the leader. She is first henchman, lieutenant, capo, whatever you want to call it, right?
Underboss.
She's part of the machine. She's part of the decision making. There has been votes in Congress where she had to make the deciding vote in the Senate because it was a 50-50 split. That's the role of the vice president, to come in and break the tie because they're president pro tem of the Senate.
Right.
So she voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, which is like an oxymoron.
Right.
Because it did nothing to reduce inflation. It did everything to increase inflation.
Right.
And she voted for it. And that's part of the problem that we have right now. You go to the store, you see shit, the prices are so fucking high. Well, not only that, you've got destruction of, I don't want to go into that shit, man. It's just, that's another freaking bag of worms. But lots of factors that influence the high prices of food. And it's not price gouging. No. I can tell you, it's not price gouging. I work in the retail industry, but not for a specific retailer. So I can tell you, it takes a while, and I like to talk a lot, but yeah, it's more detailed.
It's the same thing out here in California with the gas prices.
Yeah,
you have all the refineries on the West Coast are in California, right? But
yeah,
they shut down a refinery for what? Maintenance, inspection, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who's maintaining them and who's inspecting them? State governments.
Yeah.
Right? So now you have the illustrious moron in chief here saying that he's going to fine gas companies, oil companies for exorbitant pricing.
Yep.
Okay, dipshit, you're just going to increase the cost of gas.
Well, I used to know somebody who worked in the oil industry.
Because of something that you're mandating that they go into a thing and
Yeah.
inspect it or maintain it every so many months.
Yeah. Usually, this is something that was this was knowledge that was imparted to me back in the 90s when I still lived in California by someone who worked for one of the companies that owned a refinery.
Yeah.
There's 5 at the time, and I think it's probably still the same. There's 5 refineries in California.
Yeah.
5 gasoline oil refineries that refine it into oil and other petroleum things. But basically oil to gas, gasoline, diesel. So there's 5. But at any one time, 2 to 3 of those are closed.
Right.
For what you just said.
Right.
Maintenance and whatever, right? Why? Why?
And
you have 5,
the state mandates
and 2 to 3 of them are closed at the same time.
And the state mandates that.
Right.
Not
Now, California was an exporter, meaning they would ship gas to other states.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know that they would change. There's a California blend, but then if they ship the gas to Arizona, they would do a different blend.
Right.
Because, it's less whatever. There's not as many regulations as in California.
And now the time of year is they're switching over to the winter blend.
Yeah,
whatever the
exactly.
hell that is.
It's like fucking coffee. Make up your mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of shit. But now, Trump. Yeah, okay. So Trump did Joe Rogan, right?
Right.
He does the Joe Rogan show. It gets broadcast. And he goes to, where do you go, to Michigan?
Somewhere in Michigan.
Somewhere in Michigan. Okay, he went to do a thing in Michigan shortly after Joe Rogan. What happened in Michigan blew me the freak away. But apparently, Muslims are going to be voting for Trump because all their community leaders and imams and shit showed up and got on the stage and endorsed Trump publicly.
Yes.
Now, on the flip side of that, there was a Muslim leader or imam or somebody, whatever the leadership title is, was at a Kamala Harris rally and was kicked out.
Oh, really?
Yep. There's an article. I found it this morning. Apparently, somebody got kicked out who was a Muslim leader at a Harris rally or Harris event. So this was several days ago.
So Harris isn't just shitting on Christians; it's also Muslims too.
Oh well, the main point that they stressed, and it's out there, you can look up the video, is that Trump is for peace.
Yes.
So therefore, we're for Trump.
Yes.
Every political faction, if you want to call them that, has their pet peeves, has their things. But I think the bottom line amongst everybody is that it's better to have peace than war.
I believe.
And I think that that's what was seen at that event last night or yesterday or whenever. Yeah. Muslims would be voting for Trump because Indian food makes you fart more. Oh, I don't know about that. I've had some Mexican food that, yeah, dude, that'll go right through you.
Yeah, that ain't good Mexican food then.
Well, it's called Taco Bell. It ain't Mexican.
That ain't Mexican.
It's fake Mexican.
Anything they got to use one of the cocking guns to get the stuff out. Yes. No, that's not food.
Yes, it's fucking industrial adhesive.
Yeah. It's not adhesing if it's coming through your ass.
Yeah, it's extruding.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. All wars are created by globalists. Yes.
Yes. Yep. The war machine doesn't like peace.
No.
What was that line? in
military-industrial complex.
Yep. In Eisenhower's farewell speech, beware the military-industrial complex.
Yep.
I.e. Del Taco. I do prefer Del Taco over Taco Bell.
Cotton, I don't know if that's even better of a step up.
I do prefer Del Taco. Well, back in California, when California was cool, they used to have a place called Noggles. And Noggles was good. Well, Del Taco bought out Noggles.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Del Taco is a lot better than Taco Bell, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy. So the Muslims are, and this is in Michigan. That's right, Michigan. And so the Muslims are going to be pulling for Trump. Now, here's the thing. With an ethnic group like that, well, I don't call them ethnic. It's not really an ethnic group, but, Muslims, a religious group. We'll just call them a community, okay? That's what England likes to call everybody's community. This community, that community, protecting this community, whatever. Protecting the community. The community known as the Muslims, Islamic faith, that community tend to work in unison. It's like any other community. You've got
unless you're Sunni,
crazy freaks on one side and your peace lovers on the other, and everybody else is in the middle. Okay, so you have both sides, plus the middle. So I think with them doing what they did last night at the Trump rally or whenever it was in Michigan, I think that sent some shockwaves through the political landscape.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think the Democrats are losing their ever-loving mind right now, especially the political elite.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd like to be the fly on the wall in Rashida Tlaib's office when this went down.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to call
and if it was in, Dearborn, for, as we call it, Dearbornistan.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where it was, wasn't it? Dearborn?
I don't know where it was. Where he was.
I forgot. Was it Traverse City, Michigan?
It might have been Traverse City.
Traverse City. I know you're supposed to speak or did speak at Traverse City. Maybe that.
Anyway, if it's in her district, she's got to be having a meltdown right now.
Oh, she's got to be losing her freaking mind. Why do you think Harris had to take a day off?
Yeah.
Freaking. You don't take a day off in a fucking political campaign for president. What are you, nuts?
Yeah.
But the thing I'm seeing, okay, I could go back to the beginning of this.
No.
Go back to the beginning of the stream. I watch a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of political ads on YouTube.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Local and national. Okay? There's one thing I notice in these ads, the differences between the blue ones and the red ones. The red ones point out facts you can actually research and find. The blue ones have a lot of, for lack of a better word, puffery, innuendo, and altered facts. If you do your research, you'll see who's the bullshit artist and who's more honest. The blue or the red. The blue is becoming more desperate, in my opinion. From looking at these ads, looking at the sound bites, looking at the print ads, things like that, they're becoming more and more and more and more desperate. Whereas on the red, it's becoming more consistent, more fact-based, more record-based, in my opinion. In my opinion. Yeah, unskippable come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Is you can't skip a lot of these ads. That's all bullshit. I wonder who decided the colors. I mean, red is a nicer color than blue. Yeah, it's been that way for a long time. Yeah. And what the fuck? on his symbol anyway. Simply vote so and so for a symbol. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
What the fuck is that? Well, you're seeing a lot of things here in Arizona. Scott, I don't know where you're at. I forget. I think you mentioned it once, but here in Arizona, you've got Carrie Lake for senator and Ruben Gallego for senator. Carrie Lake is a non-politician. She ran for governor and she lost, but not by much, to Katie Hobbs, who really didn't campaign very much. So, Maricopa County, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Ruben Gallego has been in the United States Congress for 10 years. He's got a record that you can look up. And also now, his fucking divorce records are public. So it's come to find out that he was kind of a scumbag. So here you have Carrie Lake, who was in the public eye for years as a television news anchor. Okay, so she's out there.
Yeah.
Ruben Gallego, who is a United States congressman for the district, wherever in Arizona, he's got a 10-year-long record. He's got a voting record. So you can see what it is he stands for versus what Carrie Lake stands for.
Yeah.
So you have that decision to make. You look at both and you say, okay, this one's got beef byproduct, artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, and bioengineered food products, or you have all grazed, all free-range raised beef. What are you going to pick? You know? You're going to take the bioengineered food product? or the grass-fed beef? Yeah. No. I don't like Gallego, but Nick has been the mouthpiece of the
machine.
Yeah, I know. She is much of a liar as any politician. You know, it probably is, but we know Gallego's record. I'd give her a shot, but I would give her a shot.
You know, you just at some point you just can't keep going with status
What's
quo.
the worst that could happen? Get the same shit?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Can't continue the same trend we're doing now.
No.
We won't have a country left.
He has lied straight to my face. Oh, it's because she's because she was a TV anchor. Yeah. Yep.
Now,
yep.
I'll ask Cotton. I mean, I'm not a supporter of Carrie Lake at any means, but I'll ask Cotton. Was she lying, or was it her studio or network that was telling her what to do and what to say? And because she was working for said network, you know,
interesting.
She had to tote the company line.
That's a very good point. Very good point. I know Tucker Carlson had talked about that quite a bit at Fox and how Fox changed and wanted him to do certain things and not report on certain things. And he said,
right.
He said, no. Look what the fuck CBS News did to Catherine Herridge.
Yeah.
They screwed her, stabbed her in the back, took all her shit. Apologist for propagandist isn't an argument. Okay. Yeah, I agree. She was part of the propaganda machine. There's no doubt in my mind.
But any reporter can be part of the propaganda machine because they're employed by a propagandist.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of distrust in the broadcast media in general. I mean, you know, do I trust Carrie Lake 100%? No.
Do I trust Trump 100%? No.
Yeah, no.
You know, but you gonna vote for Harris? No.
Really fucked. With the current governor in charge, and the attorney general.
Yeah.
It's funny how this governor and this attorney general in this state got elected, but a lot of the other down ballot state positions didn't, got swung the other way.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, in my opinion. Imagine that. And you should not. The prophet of time. Don't trust me.
Wookiee.
Yeah. Don't trust me. So yeah. So I think we've been on for almost 2 hours. I think I'm going to call it.
A little short, yeah.
My 64 ounces of coffee I've had this morning are starting to wane.
Uh-oh.
And I'm getting a little, a little run down a little bit. I need to go get something else. Wait, what? This state has agreements with certain cartels. I think we'll never win because of that. I wouldn't doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I would not doubt it at all. I think a lot of the problem comes from Maricopa County.
Yeah.
I know somebody, I'm acquainted with somebody who used to be on my county's board of supervisors, who was very good friends with a person on the Maricopa County board of supervisors. And when all the crap went down in 2020, they all of a sudden, it was 2020. All of a sudden, this individual's quote unquote friend had their, let's say farm or ranch burnt down, allegedly. And right after that, they became very silent, and they kind of pretty much gave this individual the cold shoulder and stopped talking to them because this individual was asking questions.
Nah.
So, yeah, so there's a lot of shit going on that needs to be remedied. I just don't know how that's going to take effect.
So, how is he even still in the race? Mark Lamb, the sheriff.
Don't know.
Down there. Is he still in the race? Is he still? I mean,
are
they running for the same office? I mean, I know they're both running for Senate, but it's the same seat.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought that the primary came through and Carrie Lake got.
See, I wasn't sure because I haven't heard anything. So
yeah, that pretty sure that's why. I think there was a race between the two, and that Carrie Lake went out.
Right.
Obviously, because she's on the ballot, he's not. So yeah.
Mark Lamb would have been interesting since he is a sheriff and knows firsthand what's going on at the border because he has to deal with it.
Yeah.
Front and center.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and unfortunately, unless something drastic happens to make a complete U-turn change, a lot of things you won't get to the bottom of stuff.
No,
we really won't, unfortunately. And with elections being manipulated, allegedly, you will have issues. I can tell you, the last two elections here in my state were filled with questionable shit coming from one county.
Yeah.
Whether it was practices at the polling stations or issues actually in the tabulation centers. So, yeah. And again, it's just, of course, I don't know what's going on in Mexico now. They have a Jewish woman president. Really? Other than that, Mexico, there was a couple weeks ago, there was a mayor of some town. He just won the election. He was mayor for I don't know how many weeks, and they found his head chopped off, sitting on the top of his car.
Oh, goody!
Yeah, a new mayor, and then they found him. Yeah,
shine bomb
in Mexico. What? I thought they still had that one guy, the one fellow.
Obrador?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Whatever his name is. I don't know. I don't go to Mexico anymore.
No.
I haven't been down there since I haven't been down there since the 90s.
No.
Hell with that.
No.
Yep. Not since the 90s. Hell with that place.
No, it's too
I go to the border because I have to visit 2 border towns.
right.
One in California and one here in Arizona. But outside of that, screw that shit.
Don't go across the border.
Nope. I remember back in the day, you didn't have to have fucking passport to go to Mexico. You just had to have your state ID.
Yep.
Come back, cross from Mexicali. Yep. Did that several times, both sober and drunk.
Right.
Yeah, if shit hits the. Yeah, there we go. I love Mexico. If shit hits the fan, that's where I'm going. Yeah,
It's true.
there's some nice places down there. Don't get me wrong. There really are, especially on Baja, stuff like that. But like you were saying earlier, there's cartels. There's cartels in Arizona. There's cartels in Mexico. So,
Oh yeah.
some crazy shit. I know right now, locally, they're finding bodies out in near the border on the Mexican side of people who were killed by the cartels. They were kidnapped in Arizona, brought across at 86th over there, allegedly. Phoenix seems to be still the kidnap capital of the United States. Is that right?
I don't know. I haven't read those stats.
Cotton might know. Yeah, Baja's gorgeous. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Marlin fishing and everything down there, man.
Oh yeah.
Lobsters and shit. Go eating down there. Oh my god.
I might even see Sammy Hagar down there.
Yep. That's right. But yeah. Well, I'm going to call it.
All right.
Right now. So far, it doesn't appear that we were yanked off of.
I didn't see anything.
YouTube.
I'm running it.
Yeah,
I'm running it on my
I didn't
phone,
see
so we've
anything.
been fine.
Yeah. Everything looks pretty good so far. Well, I want to thank you, Abby, someone, for being on with me this morning. Thank you for coming on. I want to say thank you to Cotton Ministries, the Time Prophet, B-Dog. I think Cat Girl was also in the chat. I saw
Cat
you there.
Girl was in the chat here.
Yeah, Cat Girl.
Cat Girl.
I think I know who Cat Girl is, but I'm not going to mention it.
Yeah.
B-Dog. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, everybody who's watching on my Rumble channel and that is watching on YouTube. Thanks again for everybody.
Yep.
I know I've been kind of spotty on broadcasts this last couple of weeks. It's been kind of hell last couple of weeks with retail. We're getting into fourth quarter. It's Christmas time. Halloween's next weekend. We will be doing a Halloween night broadcast, me and the bunny. We'll be doing, Halloween night, 31st. So at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So we'll be doing that on Wednesday night. So hopefully everybody will be there for that. We're going to have some good time. We're going to tell a lot of ghost stories and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So hopefully we'll get some traction. And again, we'll be both on Rumble and on YouTube. Like I am tonight, I'm on both of mine this morning, Rumble and YouTube. Appreciate all the support for everybody coming in. And again, thanks again to Time Prophet and Cotton Ministries for coming in. Really appreciate your guys' time, spending your morning with me and Abby. Appreciate it. And we look forward to the next time. So everybody have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will see you on Wednesday night.
Okay.
And all right. So here we go. Let's do the outro.
We all just want to party. Yes, yes. We don't care what we're told.